Hi guys, I just wanted to pop in really quickly and just give you guys a quick little paranormal story time in honor of Spooky Month. Um, this experience happened when I was like 22, 23. I had my own little apartment. It was like a cute little attic apartment. It was big though, surprisingly. I loved it. So I'm going to say the first time I ever noticed anything was probably about 2 months after moving in. I was laying in bed one night and all the lights were off, but I had my TV on and I was actually playing solitaire on my phone. And I remember seeing like movement out of the corner of my eye, and I looked and I thought I saw something, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, solitaire makes me tired, so I'm not even going to feed into it. I ended up falling asleep. Everything was fine. About a week later, my little brother, he was maybe 13 at the time, maybe 13, 14. He wanted to come over, watch a movie, and just spend the night at my house. It was like a Friday or Saturday night. So I was like, all right, cool. So we were in my room, and he had made like a little like makeshift bed on the floor. And he was laying so that if my bed was going, to the wall, he was laying like sideways facing towards like my doorway and the TV area. And everything was fine. Like, I wasn't really paying attention to the movie. He was watching something he wanted to watch. What, Blue? What? Oh, my good boy. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. Sorry. Blue wanted to say hi. So he was watching the movie. No problem. All of a sudden, this boy jumps up and like leaps over me onto the other side of the bed. And I'm like, what the hell is the matter with you? He's like, yo, Crystal, I just saw something in your doorway. He's like, there was somebody standing there. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, there was a guy standing there, and how it looked was like, if this was my doorway, his hand was like this, and his head was like peeking in the room looking at us. And I was like, And that was what had happened like a week earlier to me. Although I didn't feed into it, I thought I had saw something, but I was like, I'm tired. I think that's exactly what I saw. So it freaked me out. And like, we ended up like sleeping with the hallway light on and stuff. Like, we were alone. So it was scary. And then, weird things started happening. Like, I always shut all my cabinets and drawers in the kitchen, and there would be mornings I would wake up and like a random cabinet would be open, or one of the kitchen drawers, like with the utensils, would be open, and things would be like misplaced. And I know I'm not moving it. I worked a lot. I don't have time to play games. So I would say, I don't know, maybe another 2 or 3 weeks had passed, and I wanted them to come over for dinner. I was doing like lasagna night, and my brother and my sister loved my food. So I had them all over. We had already finished eating at this point, and my sister and my dad were in my living room, and my brother was with me in the kitchen. We were just cleaning up, and I was doing the dishes. And I just remember asking him, hey, can you get me some ice? So he took the glass that I had, and he went to like my refrigerator, which if I'm standing at my sink, the refrigerator was like behind me. And when he opened the freezer door, it literally felt like somebody grabbed me by my neck and just lifted me in the air, at least a foot. My feet could not touch the ground. And I dropped whatever was in my hand. I don't remember if it was a glass or a plate, whatever, but I remember dropping it and it shattered. And that's what got my brother's attention. And he turned. And as soon as he saw me like that, it released me. And I just remember falling and running over to my brother. I was crying. I was freaked out. And I remember me and him both took off down the hallway to my dad. And we were trying to explain like what had just happened, and my dad's like, oh, you guys are just playing games, like stop joking around. I'm like, Dad, I am so fucking serious. And I literally had like the hand mark on my neck, and my brother's like, no, I saw it with my own eyes. it was one of the crazy experiences of my life. I'll never forget it. I ended up breaking my lease and moving, and I don't know for sure, but I feel like I had an attachment, because even when I moved, I had things happen at the new place. I had moved into a 1-bedroom after this place, and I remember one night I was sitting at my computer, and this was when like Uvo and stuff was like a thing, and all the little like Skype chat rooms and all of that was a thing. So I was on there just communicating with friends and like random people. And I remember getting up from my computer chair to go to the kitchen, and there was like a little hallway between where my computer and my kitchen were, where the bathroom and my bedroom was. And I remember seeing, it was dark, but I remember seeing something that was darker than dark, if that makes sense. And it was really low to the ground, and I heard this like guttural growl, and I just screamed, and like it stopped. And it was crazy. I ended up like having a friend of mine that's like really into like spiritual stuff and everything come bless my house and just do a blessing on me, just to make sure. And things actually calmed down for a while. I would say like a good 8 years. And then when my husband and I first got together, we lived in this 2-bedroom apartment. We had like an extra room at the time, and we actually like made it into a animal room. And my cat would not go in there. I hated that room. It was colder than every other area of the house. And it was just, I don't know, it felt like somebody was constantly watching you from that area. And my husband's aunt and uncle are pastors. So we ended up contacting them, and they came over. And as soon as they walked into the house, they said, yeah, you have something here. And, you know, they did the blessing and everything. And when I tell you, when they left our house that day, just the energy and like the feeling of the house felt so much lighter. And we were good. We stayed there for a couple years, and then we moved. The building that we moved into after that, I think that was just like a haunting of the building, because there was like 6 or 7 people while we lived there that died in the building. So I don't think it had anything per se to do with us, but we have dogs, as you can see. I have Blue, I have my other dog Stormy, and we had another rescue at the time who we ended up losing right before we closed on the house, unfortunately. But we ended up buying a house, and literally the first night that we were here, a bunch of family had helped us move. So we fed everybody, of course, and people started trickling out. And my husband and his best friend went back to our old apartment just to grab a couple more boxes and make sure everything was like cleaned out. And then I would go the next day after work and just clean the apartment before I give them the keys. So it was just my daughter and I home, and of course my animals, but they were all downstairs with us, and my cat was in like hiding. She doesn't like change. So all of a sudden we hear this really loud bang from upstairs, like if something had fell. And I knew for a fact that we had put nothing upstairs yet. So immediately my thought went to, well, we just closed on this house. What if somebody like snuck in while we were moving stuff, or like one of the old residents is here? So I told my daughter, stay where you are. And I went upstairs. Sorry, my light went off. I went upstairs. Obviously, I found nothing out of place. No big deal. I let my daughter specifically pick her bedroom upstairs. And the other one is the one that I'm turning into my creative space when I have some time. And she picked the room that has this like little crawl space in the wall. It actually goes like the entire distance of her room. So I was gonna turn it into like a cool little girl fort for her. And she was super excited about it. And then probably after like a week or two of living here, I noticed that she started like putting things in front of the little door. And I remember one night like asking her like, hey baby, why do you keep putting that in front of the door? And she's like, Mom, I hear like whispering from there at nighttime. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she explained it a little bit further, but I was like, oh honey, that's okay. It's probably nothing. It's probably wind or, you know, just your imagination. You're okay. And actually gave her like a walkie-talkie, even though my room is like directly downstairs from her, just so if she got scared, she could walkie-talkie me. We try to do like cute little things like that. But it made me pay attention. Sorry, my phone, 20%. It made me pay attention, and I started noticing things like between the hour of like 11:30 and 12:30, it sounds like somebody is walking up and down my stairs, like stomping footsteps. And then as it gets to like the end of that hour, it sounds when they come down the stairs, like they go through the living room and come around to my bedroom and literally stop at the end of my bed. I have heard this multiple times. My dogs react to it. I've tried to catch it on video. I see orbs or balls of light, if you want to call it that, come flying into my room, and even my dog will like respond to it by following it with her head. But the scariest thing that has happened here so far was probably about 4 months ago. My husband works late, and I get up really early to go to work. So I usually fall asleep before he gets home. Sorry, mosquito. And this night it just happened to be raining, and I wasn't able to let the dogs out before I went to bed. And I was super tired, so I went to sleep early. And I remember getting out of bed at like, I think it was 12:25. But as I was getting out of bed, I thought I bumped my husband with my elbow. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, love. And I heard him say in his fucking voice, mm-hmm. And like, I remember seeing like the lump under my blanket, like if somebody was laying there. So I get up, I go to the restroom. And while I'm in there, I realize it's not raining anymore. Let me let the dogs outside really quick, so this way they're not holding it forever. And I come out of the bathroom and I walk through the kitchen, and that's when I looked at the time. It didn't click yet because I was tired. So as soon as I let my dogs outside, that's when it hit me and my stomach dropped. My husband's car wasn't in my driveway. I immediately ran back into my bedroom. Obviously, nobody was there. The blanket was messed up though, like on his side of the bed. And it freaked me out because I know what I felt, saw, and heard. I was not half asleep. I was fully awake. I wasn't able to fall back asleep until my husband got home. I told him about it, and he was freaked out too. Like even recently, my lab, my husband had got home. I was already in bed, and he went downstairs to like the man cave and like took a shower, played video games for a little bit, and he came back upstairs to go to bed, and I can hear him asking her like, what are you doing? And I'm like, groggily, what's going on? He's like, Stormy is just sitting here staring at the wall. She's been doing this for like the last 10 minutes. And I'm like, what? So I kind of just like nudged her to like lay down, and just ended up like petting her till she fell back asleep. But it's really, really weird. I have a lot more paranormal stories for you. I could dive deeper into the attachment if you guys would like to hear about that, as well as some more about some of the stuff that's happened here at my house. Just let me know if this is content that you like, and I have no problem posting it, especially during spooky month. I'm gonna let you guys go though. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I think there's only 4 of you still, but that's okay. I love each and every one of you just the same. And I really hope to, you know, gain momentum on this channel. It does mean a lot to me, and I promise I'll get my creative space up and running soon with better lighting that does not shut off. And I should warn you, I'm not a makeup girl at all. On the rare occasion that I do wear makeup, I probably won't be posting a video because it probably means I'm going out and doing something. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more stories like this, please let me know down in the comment section, and like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Have a great night.